Hey, Happy New Year, Liz.
Happy New Year. I haven't seen you since last year.
Yes, girl. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome to another episode of Unfiltered and Intentional with myself, with Liz. Keeping you in prayers, Specs. Definitely. Is some hard times going on, but always keeping you in prayers and thoughts. But definitely to everybody who's tuning in now, later, and all that good stuff. Man, Happy New Year! 2021 is over, and now we got 2022. But before we go into all that, can you go
Okay.
ahead and do what you do?
All right. So, unfiltered family, friends, everybody, welcome to 2022. Welcome to our first show of the year. We can't tell you how much we love and appreciate you guys. We love being here on Sunday evenings. If you would, please like, subscribe, and share. We are on YouTube, but it's a new year and we're doing things a little differently. I put on our Facebook page that this is the year of expansion. So we are expanding. So we have a couple other platforms that we are also going to be found on this year. So let's see. Can you update that?
Yeah, we gotta update it, but definitely we're on Twitter now, going
Mhm.
live. We're on Twitch TV, and I think is that it? Is that it?
Twitch TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah. So we
Online,
got a couple of platforms that we
you
can
can
do.
find us.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can't be like, I can't find you nowhere. Yes, you can. So make sure you like and subscribe.
And because this is our year of expansion and we have big, beautiful plans that we've been talking about behind the scenes, without shame, I'm gonna ask you guys for a little help. All right. And so this is not church. We're not looking for an offering, but
Listen.
this is a contribution to the community. And
Yes,
you can find us on Cash App at money sign unfiltered 2022. Let's
yes,
do big things this year, guys. We're counting on you
yes,
for your
yes.
help. And you can count on us for getting this right.
Yes, definitely. Because we got some big things, like Liz was saying, in store for you guys. It's really, really exciting. It kind of tunes into what the topic is today about being a new year, fresh start, doing some new shit. I'm sorry, guys. That's something that is not changing at the moment. My pouty mouth, I
Unfiltered part of the show. We got this.
I don't curse that much. But before I go into current events and all that other stuff, we did have something that happened last week. So for those of you who don't know, we did a 5 days till Christmas type of giveaway, and they had different little things that I posted
Mhm.
throughout social media. So we have winners, and I told people that the winners would be announced. So I'm super super excited about that. So on day one was post a picture of your food. Trinice Boone, she won $25 gift card. So yay. Day two was paying it forward. And Mariana, she won. Super happy for that. She won her free t-shirt, Unfiltered and Intentional. I'm super happy about that one. Her story was so sweet. She ended up, her and her daughter basically bought a homeless man food for he had a dog, so dog food and for the homeless man. I was like, oh my god, because nobody really thinks about pets like that. But I'm so happy that she did that. We love you. Day three, what's your topic? Charles Haskins won. It's so funny because he texted me the information, like how African Americans need to stop talking about colorism and this and, but if you ever watch any of our shows, you know how Charles speaks. So he was definitely
Calling
adamant. On day four, pet lives matter too. We talk about everybody else's lives, but we have to talk about them pets. And Alexia Moore for her Shih Tzu. Thank you. It was so cute. Everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's so cute." Shih Tzus could be mean, but at the end of the day, she got her free T-shirt, so yay. And for day five, new subscribers. Deanna Dewberry, definitely for putting that work in to help us and our platform grow. So thank you so much for that. And we'll be contacting those individuals to make sure that they get their gifts. So thank you. Yay.
start the year. Hashtag winning.
Yes, yes, right? That's a good thing. So now we got to talk about what's happened. Because I know last week we didn't do a show last week. So Unfortunately, there's some things that have been going on in the news. I'm not going to talk about all of them because it's a fresh start, right?
It is. So here, let's tell the audience a little bit what's going on. So one of the things we talked about was, listen, what you guys don't know is I'm obsessed with the news. This girl takes it up a notch.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, I just always
I'll put it out there because they might as well know. You take it up a notch, right?
so
Every week we have our topic we know we're going to talk about, and then something happens, and Kia is a squirrel. And so I said to her, we have to have a dedicated section called Current Events with Kia. So let us know what you think about that. But Kia,
well, first of all, there's a lot of things going on. I always feel that you got to stay prepped, you got to stay ready, you got to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? So if you already ready, you don't have to get ready. With that being said, unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about everything that we missed because a lot of things we did miss. But just the pertinent things that's been popping. Unfortunately, we lost a living legend. Well, she just passed recently, and that was Betty White. A lot of us grew up with her watching the Golden Girls and other shows because she passed away at the age of 99. They was gonna have a national Zoom call for her on her birthday, which was January the 17th. She was born 1922, and she would have been 100 years of age. So definitely, since we grew up with her, she was just definitely a sweetheart. I had one person. It was Tariq Nasheed. I mean, I know he has his own platform, but he was talking about like, oh, here we go, people cooning. Please, let's not go there. Let's not go there because she has done some things for African Americans. Just stop, please. But that's just my little say on it. Also, for those of you who love movies, Mac Julian from the Mac. He died. He was 88. A lot of the players out there, they like that movie. How he was spitting that game to that woman. I thought it was like, yeah, whatever. But anywho, he just passed away unfortunately today. So two other topics I want to talk about, and then we'll transition into the real topic.
mm-hmm.
So we had the Congresswoman. What is her? You know what? And I choose not to even know her name. I'm gonna actually pull it up on my phone because I don't like her. Yes.
Can we just call her that? Can we not? Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, my ears
Marjorie
hurt.
Taylor Greene.
Oh,
her personal Twitter account has been permanently suspended. And
finally.
Yes, finally. I mean, at the end of the day, can I call her a bitch? No, I might insult somebody. I hope I don't insult nobody. Yes, cancel that bitch's Twitter account. I'm sorry. I know I'm probably insulting somebody, but I put it like this. Okay, we all have social media platforms. We all talk. We all do this. We all say whatever we want to say. But at the end of the day, at least know what you're talking about. If you're going to talk about it, know what you talk about. Say something that you can actually, research and be like, okay. And if you don't know it, be like, okay, this is what it is. But at the end of the day, she has to go. But that's just my little 2 cents. Nothing too much on her. And last but not least, because there are some other things that's kind of interesting. Antonio Brown. This has happened like maybe a couple of hours ago. Antonio Brown from the Bucks. He's a wide receiver. He just basically took his shirt off, his uniform and everything, and just walked across, I guess ran, and then started walking across the whole field, and I guess he quit. I wanted to ask you, now I don't know the reason why, it's certain speculations and this, that, and the third, but I want to ask you, do you think that's professional? Like, if you're that mad, you're just going to be like, fuck it to the job, should he handle it a different way? This is my kind of transitioning into the actual topic about changing the way we do things in the new year. So I was like, okay, thank you, Antonio Brown, for having a mental breakdown on your job. Do you think he did it?
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
I mean, so heaven forbid that we should realize that maybe he's going through like a mental health crisis or something like that, and to make it seem like he made a decision. I genuinely don't know anything about the backstory here. But at the end of the day, if you're going to quit a job, try to be professional about it.
Yeah.
You still have he's not an older person. He has a lot of life to live, and he's gonna have to support himself. When you do things like that, I mean, nowadays I guess you could turn into Donald Trump, but when you do things, they do tend to follow you. And as it is, we're starting out with so many different strikes against us. Why add to that? Why is that something you'd want on your resume?
I'm glad you said that because I've never been fired off of a job. I will quit gracefully, I'll do the 2 weeks. But when my younger days, I will just be like, take a lunch and never show back up. Um, I've had some crazy stuff growing up, but at the end of the day, um, it could be something mental. It let's just put it to the side. If it wasn't nothing traumatic and mental on that note, he should have handled it a different way. You should always be graceful in your, but unless somebody called out your mama's name or something, then I take fuck this whole game. I
Right.
mean, it's easier said than done, right? Because a lot of times we're like, oh, we could do it this way, do it that way, and then we end up messing up somehow, whatever. But before enough about that. This is a good segue. Thank you, Antonio Brown, from leaning into the whole New Year fresh start. But let's give a shout out to our lovely guests. I just love them so much.
So, Z said good morning. Um,
Probably meant to say good
okay,
evening.
you
But I'll
started
take a
to
good
show off,
morning.
right?
I'll take a good morning.
So, Humble Lion said, "Hey Kia, hey Liz, hey Humble Lion." So,
We love us some humble lion. Okay.
dude, we are fans. So Z said, "Love it. Covered events with Kia."
Yeah, I'm gonna be cutting up too.
I don't know if that was a good idea. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't. Oh man. So, Miss Annie Shannon said, "Good evening. Good evening, Annie." So we got Toya. She said, "Hi, Queens. Good Sunday evening." I
Yes.
loved it. I loved it. So Humble Lion said, "Actually, the New Year is really in March or spring. Tell them
Okay.
something. Tell them something." Humble Lion always dropping the knowledge. So
You see me like this.
and so when everything is blossoming and beginning to come back in new, January is still winter and everything is dead. So
Yes. Thank you for that knowledge drop, like you always do, bringing it into the
always.
2022.
Yep.
Yes.
So Cash says, "Hey everyone, hey
Hey,
Cash, happy
yes.
New Year." So and then a Facebook user chimes in with, "I'm sure there's more to the Antonio Brown situation."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
But you know what? Even if there is more to the situation at hand, it's kind of unfortunate because when we do something, it blows up, right? When we do something, when we have an outbreak, when outcry, when we have something, the media takes it like, oh, look at them, they're so unruly, they so this, so ghetto, so it just makes me sigh. Just like when there's a mass shooting, we all be praying like, please don't let it be a black person, please don't let it be a
time
please,
every single time.
just because they just take it and run. So definitely I get it. And no, we do understand you meant good evening. Yes, we totally understand. But
So
go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just saying we got to pick on our Z. He tunes in faithfully, and we love him for it. So you know,
Yeah.
pinch.
So thank you guys for chiming in, and happy New Year's to you, or happy winter solstice, because the new year, as Humble Lion said, has not begun. So definitely thank you for that.
Right.
But today's topic, New Year fresh start, man. Wow. I know every time a new year begins, maybe that last week we start talking about resolutions and what we're going to do better and how you're going to get that dead weight off of you. It can be physically. It can mean that buster that's in the back corner. If it's a guy, you looking at the girl sideways like, you got one last time to be cutting up in this house. Leave some weave in that sink one more time. So everybody's trying to plan their escape routes. Everybody's trying to do something. If you had that ratchet ass job, I talked to somebody who said they're going to be tuning. They couldn't tune in right now, but they'll be tuning in later. And they was like, go ahead and talk about that job. When you're going to that ratchet ass job tomorrow, 'cause a lot of people going back to work Monday, and if you're crying in your car or you're crying when you work, if you're crying while you work from home and you at home, this job ain't for you. If you are literally in your PJs, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, please, 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 by all means, we have to do better. So with that being said,
Right.
before I go into my personal stories and all this, that, and the third, I just want to hear, do you personally, Liz, have any type of, resolution or new change or anything?
I'm a person that's not necessarily very big on resolutions. If I make my mind up to do something today, today is the beginning of that. I'm not waiting until January 1st. I'm not, putting some date in the future. Tomorrow is not a good day to start anything because it's not on the calendar anywhere. You know what I mean? So, generally speaking, I'm not very big on resolutions. I will say, just failure to plan is a plan to fail, right?
Hmm.
So I do have plans for the new year. I have certain projects I've started that I never finished that will be done. You know what I mean? In the next coming weeks, months, I have realistic expectations and timelines that I put on myself. I'm really, really excited. Both Kia and I are Geminis, and so the creative juices.
Woo! Woo! Y'all, y'all
I
gave me that. We are Gemini. Yes, we are.
And the biggest word for me so far in the last couple of days, couple of weeks, has just been expansion, expansion, expansion. So when I start hearing something in my head over and over, I don't ignore it. I believe that we receive messages. I don't know everybody's background, everybody's beliefs, but at the end of the day, you have that voice in you that is telling you where to go and where not to go. And do yourself a favor and listen.
Yes, it's interesting that you said that. And before we talk about anything else, I definitely want to talk about this comment right here that came in.
Hmm. So Humble Lion said Antonio Brown is a fuck this job type of person, but I believe his mental health needs to be addressed. And yes, he has been in the news before. It's a name that we know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I'm actually that type of individual too. At this job, I do feel like I said, once you kind of get older, you know how to do that gracefully. You
right,
know, maybe put your 2 week notice in. I do know that the sports arena, they do have contracts and different things. So, I mean, I don't know how easy it is to break a contract within the sports fields, especially for football and those things. I know,
on you,
yeah,
right,
when I was in the military, you can't just walk out and be like, fuck this job, or you might be in jail somewhere. So at the end of the day, there's ways to get out. But I know that you talked about expansion and you talk about growth and projects. I do want to talk about work and income. It's interesting because one thing that ties into a current event that's continuing from 2020 is COVID, and we have the different variants, and we have this and this. And for some strange reason, I guess Florida doesn't even believe in COVID anymore, but that's a whole nother story. But COVID cases went up by 948% in the last 14 days. Now, I'm not saying that somebody is in the hospital and is that bad and all these different scenarios, but this has affected a lot of people in the way we move. This also is affecting your fresh start. So if you was going to go back into the office, if you was going to go do this, you have to kind of change the dynamic. Maybe you made certain parts of your home your gym. Maybe you are working from home. But at the end of the day, when I was talking to you offline, I told you, Liz, that I wanted to have this conversation just about accountability, because I know we can sit here all day, every day and go through a list like, okay, the new year started. I want to lose weight. I want to quit smoking. I want to learn how to sing. I want to do this and have all these goals, knowing that in reality, we're going to start it, sign up for a gym membership of some sort, and then it'll just kind of flake down. And we
right.
don't have the accountability that we're needing. We need to be able to count on our community, count on ourselves, to
Hmm.
kind of push ourselves, to push each other. And in reference to the projects and the things that you have going on, Liz, how do you feel that you'll hold yourself accountable? And I'm also asking the audience out there too, when it comes to your goal setting, from whatever it is, right? Physical, mental, spiritually, sexual, whatever it is, how are you going to hold yourself accountable? Because all of us could talk. We can
Right.
sit here and talk all day, every day about, oh yeah, I'm gonna put that donut down.
I'm gonna put myself out there. Okay,
Put it out there, girl.
here we go. So one of my secrets has always been not to tell anybody what I planned on doing.
Okay.
Right? And there's different ways to look at it, and I'm of two minds about it. So I'm actually curious, Kia. Maybe you can help me out with this, audience. Maybe you can help me out with this. So on the one hand, I grew up, don't talk about it, be about it.
Okay.
Right? So I would never come up and say, hey, you know what? This year I'm going to this, and this. What I want you to do is just see the changes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll know that it's effective if you can tell what's happening. Now, though, I kind of feel like I've been skirting accountability by not telling anybody my plans. Because when I say to you, you know what, Kia, in the first quarter of this year, I plan to make an additional $25,000. When we get to about March, you're going to say, hey, Liz, how's that going?
Mm.
So I've always felt like I skirted that accountability by not saying it to anybody, right? If I never told you, you never knew, you had no expectations of me. And so if I didn't meet them, that was my secret to keep.
Mm.
So now, and like I said, I'm of both minds about it. You don't want to run around talking about how big and bad you're going to be and not do anything. You know what I mean? But on the
Mm.
other hand, I feel like it's important. We have business partners, we have spiritual partners, we have coaches for everything that we need, everything else. I'm gonna enter a partnership with you, Kia, when it comes to the business side of things. I'm entering a partnership with a friend when it comes to the personal side of things. On, hey, I'm not telling everybody, but I am telling you. These are my goals. These are my expectations, and I'm hoping that you'll keep me accountable. And if it's a partnership in the true sense of the word, it'll be reciprocal. So we'll hold each other accountable.
It's interesting because I know on an individual side, it looks great, right? So when you say you have a partnership with Mary or Bob, myself, or whoever, we can say, hey, girl, you said you was going to do this. What happened with that? And we can have, and we value each other and respect each other so we can have that, that conversation.
Right.
But it's like, is it just going to be an individual thing these days? I mean, when I think about the show, I'm like, going to try to do this for the community. How can we on a larger scale, help people or hold them accountable? I was talking to somebody so dear, and this individual said to me, you can't lead a horse to drink the water, which is so true. We can have the resources, we can have all the information. They can say, yeah, I want to do that, but we can't hold them accountable. For you personally, though,
Hmm.
I love the fact you mentioned partnership, because
Okay.
when you talk about partnership, you're trusting that individual, even if it's that spouse, it's that friend, it's whoever that is, and you're confiding in them, and they're going to have that real conversation with you, and they're going to be able to be tactful, and they're
Hmm.
going to be able to know how to read you and when to say whatever. So yeah, I would say and suggest for the audience definitely that if they're able to find a partner when it comes to specific things, it would work best for them. So even if it was a partner to go to the gym, or a partner to walk around the neighborhood, or a partner to do
Hmm.
better, even if it's like a quitting smoking type of situation, it's a very hard thing to quit something and the next person doing it,
Mm.
or you want to cut down on them drinks, but everybody else is drinking. So then we kind of have to kind of sit in this year and kind of evaluate. Somebody said that if you're smarter than your circle, then you need a whole new circle. If you
Amen.
start getting these yeah, no. But if you get this
Yes.
information coming in, you looking around like, damn, you still doing the same shit that you was doing for the last 5 years. Like, don't stay stagnant. Stagnation in 2022 is gonna burn your ass. Let me go to this comment real quick because I could jump on that for a whole.
We can spend some time there. So, Humble Lion chimed in with, I'm a positive person, but I'm also a realist. 2022 is only going to be a continuation of the New World Order using the pandemic to come at the people. So, yeah, I've seen, you know what? There's a part of me that feels like for the rest of the world, 2022 is just 2020 part three. So,
Yeah,
you
and I
know,
heard the third is the charm.
but I had a boss once, since we were talking about those interesting employers, that he would say, and at the time, God, I would roll my eyes every time he said it. But it's been years, and I actually still say it: control the controllables. There's things I can
Yeah.
control, and there's things I can't control. So
Mhm.
that 2020 part three, they can have that. I've got Liz things to do. We got
Yeah.
unfiltered business to accomplish. You know what I
I
mean?
went.
I can't I
No,
can't be I can't be consumed with the rest of it all the
I'm
time.
glad you also talked about and brought it back to the whole employment and everything, because definitely these years have been shaky. The people are working from home, people are losing jobs, people are trying to start their own jobs, and I think this is a perfect timing. If you find yourself, also, I already gave them one first clue. If you find yourself crying at home while you work from home to log on to the job, you have a personal problem. You have to do some self. There's no way, because it's a little different. You driving to the job, you crying like, man, them tolls, man, the gas. That's something to cry about. But if you're
You
in
logging
your
on.
PJs, Exactly. Like
It's not a good look.
we got to do better. But with that being said, you also find out to yourself that you need to start looking at other ventures if you do have a side hustle. But wait a second, on your lunch break, on your snack break, you over here doing the other work. You're doing your own work for empowerment and betterment of yourself and not the corporation. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes you think, well, wait a second here. Because a lot of people are sitting at the house, a lot of people are trying to find other avenues to bring income in. And that is also something that we have to address for this fresh start. Other avenues of income, streamline income this way, this way, this way. I know a lot of people are trying to do the investments and the crypto. We will have people come on and talk more about that. We've had financial advisors and those things on the show, but just for something immediately, try to find those things. Find your talent. Find your talent, what you're good at. If you do what you're good at, then it's not work, and it will money will come and it will flow, and you'll be like, wait a second, universe, it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So
Check. Yes.
do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Now here's the kicker. There's a lot of people out there. Everybody want to be a hairstylist. Everybody do nails. Everybody do everything. You want to be a rapper? I don't know, but if if you have the connections, if you dedicate, Puff Daddy said, sleep when you die. Put it out there in 2022 because guess what? Money is out there. So there's no excuse as to why we still struggling. I mean, I know, this message is not getting out to the masses, but it's getting out to some, and we got to do better. So
Mm-hmm.
here goes a comment here.
So Annie said, for me, a New Year's resolution is often something I had resolved to do and kept putting off throughout the old year. Somehow, facing a brand new year, I feel the strong urge to commit. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
puts that fire under you. So,
Yeah.
okay,
And
Annie, I'm sorry, Tia. Can I challenge you, Annie? Let's do, instead of that urge to commit on the 1st of January, why not check with it on the 1st of every month? So almost instead of a New Year's resolution on February 1st, see what you did towards that commitment that you made on January 1st. And
mm,
then move the goalpost a little bit and then move it again and again. And on the 1st of every month, we should be checking on those resolutions. I'm just tossing it out there. I'm not a
no,
life
yeah, kind of like a self check-in. Having those self check-in and them self conversations don't make you crazy, people. It
Mhm.
makes you smart because you're holding yourself accountable, kind of
Right.
organizing it out, kind of planning it right. You know, I remember, I forgot what's oh man, Susie is it Susie Orman? She's a financial
That
lady.
one. Yep.
She had ended up doing a interview with somebody, and she was saying one of the tricks to people who are successful that they're organized. Clutter brings a lot of chaos. Clutter
Mm.
brings anxiety. Clutter brings confusion. I've been in environments where you're literally like, wait, where do I step? Because it's that much clutter.
Right.
And clutter within itself is a negative type of thing. Now, granted, some people say, hey, I do good in clutter, right? I know where things in, this, that, and the third. But really think about that for a second. Really sit and think about how you can fine tune that just to kind of make it a little bit easier. Because if you have to kind of look at where you're walking on the floor just to walk,
You
like
won't move
I'm not
forward.
in nobody's house, but you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Move forward. Right. So, yeah.
Here's a new one that came in.
So, Annie said, problem is the pandemic. How to handle a fresh sharp start. Every time you start moving forward, you have to take 2 steps back. Please advise. So, I'm going to take that one on a little bit. And so,
Okay.
if it's not the pandemic, it's going to be the next thing. Even before COVID, there was always something getting in the way. If it was easy, we would have gotten it a long time ago, right? So, a lot of people have tossed around the whole this is the new normal. It's actually always been something. You know what I mean? This now it depends on your business, right? So if it is something that is going to affect your business, if you were out there, doing hand to hand combat training, you know what I mean, or whatever the case is, and they're asking you to be 6 feet apart, that's going to throw things off a little bit. But at the same time, you're most successful when you're most adaptive. So figure out, well, then maybe that hand-to-hand combat training needs to be done via Zoom or on YouTube or virtual or
Yeah.
something like that. So challenge yourself to adapt to this situation, and you'll be that much better off when it comes time to adapt to the next situation. Because I promise you, if it's not COVID, it's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So if they woke up tomorrow and they said, "Oh, you know what? Magically, it's just gone. It's just poof. That's what the last guy said was going to happen, right? Just poof. You know what I mean? And okay, I promise you, the next thing is on the horizon. So make yourself as adaptive as possible in
Yes.
every way. Don't let anything get in your way. Control the controllables, the things that you can control. Do
And I
that.
would also say something like I said, the environment too. So we're looking at our friends in our circle, and you're like, I think I might be the smartest person in this circle. I might need a new circle. Because you always want, the purpose in life and everything is to grow. It's all about growth. Oh my God, from your physical to your spiritual. For me, if I'm not growing, there's something wrong. And with that being said, you have to also look at the environment. Look at your neighbors. Look
Mhm.
at the up down in the city sidewalks and the streets and and the apartments and the house and whoever your local location is, and see what they're doing. Definitely it's about community, but at the same time, it's like crabs in the barrel as well. If I'm fucked up, if I'm doing some shit, and I see you over here on the come up, I'm looking at you. I may be like, oh, what you doing again? I've literally heard people pray against people. Like I have literally say, I'm praying against you. You're like, wait, can you do that and still
Can
be
you
a
do that?
no, but and still be a Christian? Can you literally pray against somebody? And that goes back to what you said, Liz, when it comes to the whole thing of telling people your business, right? So on
Right.
one end, yes, if I tell my partner this, or if I tell whoever this, is a good thing because they can encourage, they can hold me accountable. But then you have to be very mindful of who the fuck you telling. Because
Mhm.
there's people out here who are not your friends and want to see you fall. They're not doing good, and they wait a second. Oh, you going out again? This the second time you went on a plane. Where are you going? Why are you so nosy? We
Mhm.
get not in 2022.
Right. Right.
I mean, and this may even be family. Sometimes your closest people to bring you down will be your family, and
Right.
because they know so much about you too. They know your ins, they know your outs.
So,
Hmm.
Kia's bringing them truths this year. My
Oh,
goodness.
wait,
So
wait.
I have a question for you, Kia. You asked me, but we didn't get a chance to ask you just yet.
Oh, wait. How do
What's
I
going
get out
on?
the camera? How do
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get out of the camera? Well, let's just read this comment real
Yes,
quick.
I got my glasses on. I'm looking
Wait,
extra
wait,
hard.
wait, wait.
Oh,
Let's.
you
Oh,
want
he
to
said.
deflect. Okay, I see this. And he said, yes, get that. Thank you.
So what? Well, you said you had a question. What question? I don't like to be asked
Yes.
questions. Go ahead.
So, partner, what are we doing this year? What are your plans? What's good?
Um. So I'll put it out like this. My plan for 2022 is to grow, and when I mean grow, it's in every aspect of my being, from
Mm,
physically, mentally. I mean, if you're not for it, you're not holding me down. Meaning you're not praying for me, educating me. I don't need no parts of it. I am totally committed to cut ties, do a
mhm.
Facebook cleaning, do an Instagram cleaning. And you know what? It's not like even I'm on social media per se like that. I'll be looking at current events, but I just want to be able to build. It is all about building, financially and just physically. And I think really it's also about a spiritual connection as well. Because a lot of times you may find yourself in a spot where you're weak and you find yourself, because I'm gonna tell you guys, put it out there. I am 40.
Looking good, Kia.
Well, I tried. But with that being said, I was telling somebody that you don't want to be 40 years of age and then say, hey, I get it. Hey, let me do better. If you the earlier you can get it, the earlier you can make those transitions, the better. When you're working in alignment with the universe, all doors are opening. It's when you're going against the universe. It's when you want to and it's when you want to be able to your ego is talking. I'm the baddest this, I'm that, and then you're going against what the universe has planned and stored for you, and then you see shit's all fucked up and you getting all types of things happening. No, I want to be in alignment with what the universe has in store for me. So if that means me taking my time, if that means me taking two steps back and being humble and being patient, That's something I have a huge issue is my patients can be tested very instantly, like instant. And that might be a Gemini thing, but working on that shit. We Geminis have a bad rep, right? I hear that we Geminis have a bad rep sometimes, but no, I don't want to have that bad rep. I want to exemplify growth. I want to be able not to talk about it, but be about it. So when you see me next year, you're like, wait a second now. Oh yeah, and I want to be able to give examples to the youth because we do have a lot of people who are younger who watch us, and why should they go through the changes? This is definitely a new type, new era that we're in. Yes, you said it's a continuation, and it is a continuation. You have to grow and be adaptable, like you said, with the time. So yes, just in a general sense, to answer that question, I do have a lot of things planned, and it's all about growth. I might get that shit tatted on my ass. Not the actual ass, but you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. I'm just.
You know what I mean.
That's all. That's all.
Wait. Let's read the. That's funny.
Humble Lions. Sorry. Humble Lion said, I think in 2022, we need to pay ourselves first and then invest in self first. I will either start prepping or you can continue to build on what you have. And prepping, that's not just, making sure you got pasta. Prepping is everything. You having the right people in your circle is prepping. How do you prep for success when you got a whole bunch of people that aren't contributing anything to your success? I mean, that's prep.
My God.
You know what I mean? So I will say this. Another word that's been echoing in my mind a lot is team. And we always toss it around. I think everybody tosses around, oh, there's no I in team, or, I got my team. And, first of all, when you're building your team, you make sure you got somebody fulfilling every position. And if they're not good at it, replace them with somebody else and put them on the bench while they work on it, right? So and don't forget now, while you're setting up your team, you should also be an MVP on someone else's team as well, right? Because that's the only way we're going to grow is if we do it together. So my whole thing is, remember I mentioned to you, from a business point of view, I've got my partner doing this, right? On a spiritual level, there's that. At work, because I have a day job, you know what I mean? And so I know who I can count on there and everything else, right? That is building the team. So that at the end of the day, the team is I, and I'm winning championships, right? And so, and if you're going to be on somebody else's team, hold yourself accountable, because if you're failing them and they're failing you, no one's making any progress. So.
No, I do appreciate what you just said there, and definitely hits home. First law of preservation is self. My mother used to make me write that down. You know how when you was in grade school, you'd have to write something down over and over and over again. I didn't grow up the traditional way, So while the kids were playing hopscotch outside, I was writing down first law of preservation is self. First law of preservation is self, like 100 times. And that became my mantra. Even in the airplane, when the airplane's going down, they're not saying to put the mask and the oxygen on the little kid. No, you put it on yourself first. So then now you can take care of somebody else. You don't take care of yourself, your vessel, your body, your mind. You cannot take care of anyone else. So when it comes to prepping, yes, prepping is essential. Of course, we know that there's so many terrible things. A current event I didn't touch about. I'm definitely sorry for the traumatic, weather that we've been having. Different people have passed away with the tornadoes, and it's just been crazy back after back. This morning I turned on the news. It had Texarkana had a rainstorm, but it was raining fish. I'm like, what?
Fish, frogs, something crazy fish.
I would let. Now here's the thing. I'm a fighter. I'll get through it. But if you tell me to go to the grocery store and get some orange juice and some fish is flying outside hitting me in the face, I'd be like, what the heck? Somebody on my Facebook page, she was like, "Oh, it happens." I'm like, "Tornadoes happen, but bitch, I prepared for that shit."
Happening, right? Yeah.
Your umbrella ain't gonna say. But anyway, not getting sidetracked off that because I can do on my tangent. But it's definitely very, very important to think about yourself, being able to invest in yourself. I love what you said in reference to paying yourself first. Yes. Paying yourself first. Of course, we could talk about, monetarily, and money and those things, but also taking that break out, that mental break. Mental health has been so prevalent these days. We need a fucking break, right? We need a time where you put them kids to the side, put them to bed early, stop giving them so much damn sugar. You ever see these parents? I'm sorry, I'm about to go on my tangent. Have you ever seen these parents just feed their kids just sugar and wonder why the kids are bouncing off the walls? My
You know what?
kid,
I think we got a new sugar though. The new sugar is screen time.
oh, I didn't even think about that.
I'm putting that out there and I'm done. That's it. Period. I'm done. I'm not saying
Didn't
nothing
think
else.
about that, but no, it does affect you. So if you had a stressful job, you have a stressful this, you got all these things going on. The kids are bouncing off the walls. What do you expect? Then you're talking about, oh, they said your child got ADD or something like that. No, let's watch what we're eating, right, in 2022.
Much we're eating, what we're consuming. Again, consuming and consuming. Right? And so
You did
I,
that double thing again. No,
you
that's
know,
why I love these conversations, girl. Better go.
I remember way back in the day they used to say that SpongeBob was, I don't know if you remember that, but SpongeBob was bad to watch because they had so many different things going on in the background, plus the
Yeah,
main story,
yeah.
plus a lot of different things, and they said that that wasn't good. Have you ever seen some of the stuff these kids are watching on YouTube? We were afraid of SpongeBob a couple years ago. Could you imagine? And even the music that's playing in the back, zzz, 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 and then you got stuff on the screen, and then you got the thing moving, and they're like, yo, and then the kid gets up and they're looking at you and you're talking to them, and they're like, huh, what, huh, huh, huh? I mean, yeah, clearly this is not, I mean, sometimes it's mental, but sometimes it's environmental. We can do things to be
Yeah,
preventative, right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah. No.
sugar and screens, Kia. I'm
See
over
how
it.
the line, you see how you open up a can of worms because we could go on that for a million years. Let's
That's
go
not
to
where
the
he thought I was going to go, but okay. So, Cash said, I'm finally getting some crypto in 2022. I've been on the fence long enough.
Mm,
Okay.
that's interesting. I would definitely, be mindful when anybody's touching crypto. And like I said, we will have a financial advisor and people who really handle that come on the show. But I would always say if you're looking into that type of industry, make sure you're looking at their background and their portfolio. I've had people that I personally know say, "Hey, I do Bitcoin mining and I'm so successful. Look at me and my cars and blah, 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 whatever, whatever." And then you click on their link or you hit them up and then they scam you. And then they say, so I've actually know people who've gotten scammed from their
Hmm.
money because, they clicked on a link that said, hey, these people are perfect. No, I would say actually, like we're talking right now, or if you have some type of connection with somebody or referral, go that route. So you're able to, get into that industry of crypto. Metaverse is something huge that we need to talk about. That is that virtual reality. I know you don't like to talk about that stuff, but this is where the money's at. And I'm not talking about for your own pleasure, but just investing in that because that's where we're at. But that's a whole, you see Liz's face, y'all?
What I do? What
All
I
right,
say?
let me go to that comment because in 2022, she don't want to be bothered with me.
Uh, we should take that on. I'm telling you, one of these days, y'all, she's gonna let me talk about social media. She won't right now. She got the muzzle on, but that's okay.
Mhm.
Lion said spirituality is the best prep because I'm pretty sure there were some preppers when those tornadoes hit that died and had everything.
Yes, yes, very, very true. I'm
Hmm.
glad that you said that
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, and spirituality, just to put out there, people, is different from being religious.
Right.
Um, when you bring religion into the key, there's a lot of rules and dogmas, right? Clap your hands 2 times, wear a dress on Friday, don't do this, and you start doing this whole little dance, and and you can only go to church on a Wednesday at Tuesday, not Tuesday, because you're going. So we could get into that. And that's a whole nother conversation too to have in 2022. But being spiritual, being open, excuse me, to understanding what the universe is saying, being aware of your environment. But once again, it also has to do with it has to do with everything if you think about it. Because how can you be aware of your surroundings and open to stuff if you're in a stressful situation? If your job is killing at you, maybe your loved ones are tagging and nagging at you, health problems, all different types of things. So we can clearly see that in 2020, right? When that Kobe died, it just changed them. But that's a whole nother story. But 2020 was the beginning of craziness, and then now we're in 2022, and it's like a continuation. And I don't think it's going to be some type of rainbow at the end where we're like, hey, it's all over. Let's go back to our norm. Like we've always said, this is our new norm, right?
Hmm.
And we have to be able to be adaptable. We have to be able to say, hey, this is what we're going to be going to do. And if people don't like it, I'm telling people, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. I know I don't mean to say it like that, but I'm really telling people just to go fuck off. I don't want to be a part of it. Maybe it's my age. I don't know. I just don't have time for you. I don't
know that you've heard me say it. If you haven't heard me say it 5 times, 50 times, then you just haven't been listening. But what do I say? Everybody in your life is doing one of four things. They're going to either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. If you're subtracting, I don't have anything for you to take from me at this moment. Maybe one day when I'm just so amazing, I have extra, extra, extra. You need to subtract. Maybe I'll toss you a bone, but for now, I don't have it, so you can't be a part of my life. If you're here to create division, and I say it every time, division does not necessarily mean what you think it means, right? That's you coming between me and my money, me and my goals, me and my dreams. You know that I need to work on these t-shirts on Friday night. Why are you asking me to go out? You know what I mean? So, just saying. I'm just saying, right? So,
What do you people know?
so unless you're telling me let's go out to go make plans for the next big thing, don't get in my way right now. I don't have the time for it. Right now, if you're adding to, you're bouncing ideas off of me. I'm bouncing ideas off of you. You're giving me constructive criticism. Everything else, I'm here for it. If you're multiplying, if you're sowing seeds in my life that are going to blossom and grow in days, weeks, months, years to come, just all day long, and I will sow back into you. But again, Kia says she's cleaning up, right? Take
I am.
inventory. Get rid of the people that you don't need in your lives. And maybe it sounds mean, like Kia says she's telling them to fuck off. That's one way to do it, right? But at the end of the day, we need to be kind of really intentional about it. Now, the somebody sent me a thing, and I'm sure that a lot of people have seen it, but I'm going to read it because it hit me different. It said, when they said she was going crazy, she was awakening. When they said she was isolating, she was healing. When they said she was acting funny, she was growing. When they
Mm.
said that she changed, she was evolving. And when they said she didn't care anymore, she finally realized that her peace lives within. So,
Oh, I love that. Send that to me.
I got you.
And the reason why I love it because it just resonates with me because like I said, I'm doing it this year. I don't care if I blow past you like a steam engine, like but
But
I'm
I
doing
won.
it. Like and like I said, it may be my age, I just don't have time for it. Like if you at this point in your life are not able to read the tea leaves, are not able to look up and down your street and see the environment, the conditions that we live in, and you still
Mhm.
sitting here scratching your head, I don't have time for you. And here's the kicker: in 2021, I was getting depressed about it. Like, damn, I
Mhm.
know that when my train and it is taking off takes off, I know I'm not going to have certain people that I love on that train with me, right? I know that I can't turn around and see this person. I can't turn around and see this person. Man, we had a great time that year. Oh, we grew up this way or we did this way. And I was getting depressed. I was getting so depressed because it's like, why don't they want to evolve? Why don't people, why? I just don't get it. Even us as a whole, why is it that we're just not getting it? And then all of a sudden, I just realized, well, wait a second. It's not for them to get. I mean, for some people don't believe in reincarnation. Some people believe in going to heaven. Whatever you believe in, at the end of the day, this lifetime, no matter what you believe in, as
Mhm.
who you are, you ain't meant to be on that train rolling down the street. Because I promise you, 2022. But no, let's read these comments.
So Toya said, I'm so with you, Kia, on that. If it's not motivating me to my best self for the community, for my family, my business, deuces and deuces.
You need to make the nails grow longer on that. Yes.
So absolutely. Humble Lion calling me out because I'm sipping on some pink lemonade, just plain Jane tonight.
Well,
But
you know what it is? It's like a fresh lemonade. So, in honor of the show, the fresh start with the fresh lemonade. I try to cover for you, Liz.
the wine will make a return. So tell you like the little blurb I just read. So she said, "Me too. Send me that, Liz. I even have to fall back from my spouse, best friends, and stagnant people. Listen.
Oh my goodness. I'm about to pass it on to last word with Liz, but before I go on, the word stagnation will bring tears to my eyes. I cannot tell you how it just burns my skin how a person could be content. But that was 2021 and 2022. I don't care if you sit never mind. I was gonna say in your diaper and stuff, but just that's me going on a tangent again. I won't be unfiltered anymore. I'll just read this comment here. Go ahead.
Be unfiltered. Do what you do. So Humble Lion said, right. Don't apologize for outgrowing people when they had the chance to grow with you.
That's why we love you, Humble Line. You need to come on to the show. We need to hear your opinions.
I
Educate
mean,
us.
good time.
Humble Lion.
I mean, we appreciate you in the comment section, but just one good
Yes,
time.
yes. And if they don't say it at the house or wherever, we appreciate you, black man, black king. Here you go. You better do what you do,
Do
sir.
it.
But since it is getting a little bit late, last words with Liz.
And so, hey guys, this has been such a fun start to the year. I don't know about you, Kia, but when we are not on air for a week, I really miss it. So, I'm going on record for that. So, guys, we would love, love, love to continue to grow with you, for you. We're about the community. We've got our Black Future Month book scholarship giveaway coming up. Please check out my site. It's grownhonestconcepts.com. That is, I got brand new. I told Kia I was up until 5 o'clock on Friday night working on just new designs, and I'm going to be uploading them and everything else. I'm super duper excited. Today's shirt says, Thought of the Day, you are a future ancestor. So, you know what? I'm carrying that in. Yeah, so you are a future ancestor. If you know that and you assume that as a part of your purpose, you will walk in that light to your greatness. So,
This. So
you
yeah,
know,
basically what you're saying that you're fine and educated. Go ahead, girl.
got me blushing. Oh my gosh. But, you know, be mindful that one of these days, the people that they're going to be writing those history books about are going to be us, right? And so, what did we do to advance the legacy? What did we do for our prosperity the way that the people that came before us did? So, you are a future ancestor. February is Black Future Month. Help us out. Go on the page, grownhonestconcepts.com. You can contribute to us directly on Cash App. We're Unfiltered 2022. Help us grow. We promise we're going to do right by you guys. We pinky promise. And this is the year of expansion, growth. I'm not going to fail you, Kia. I'm going to hold you accountable. I promise you. Every single week, every couple days that we speak, I'm going to ask you, what did you do to grow this week? So just be prepared to be annoyed with me. I hope
Hey,
you guys have your
listen. Talk that business. People just be like, oh, they don't even have to ask. But Humble Lion did chime in and say we forgot a comment, and I thought I did the comment, but if I didn't, I'm sorry.
I know we
Um,
did skip that one. My bad. All right. Humble Lion said the Federal Reserve is letting people play around with cryptocurrency, but when they roll out the world reserve currency, all others will be gone.
Hey, at the end of the day, and that is the reason why they now are trying to find some type of regulations and see where they can put their hands in. When the government touches stuff and they want to get a little piece of something, anything is possible. So I have not per se heard of anything that the Federal Reserve was doing, but I would not put it past them because, like I say, anything that they touch doesn't per se turn golden. It gets fucked up and more fucked up.
The Midas touch. So we said, there is a difference, of course, between religion and spirituality. I do check with the Bible for reference. So I'm a spiritual person, you guys, and you guys are aware of that, right? And so I will say Proverbs 13:4 says, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. You could be of any faith whatsoever. At the end of the day, if you're procrastinating and dragging your feet, there's nothing there for you. But if you're diligent, diligence is from Latin, and it's really an old term that just means sharpening your knife. right? And so if you've ever seen anybody old school blacksmith, they sharpen, they do the same thing over and over and over and over. And that's how you sharpen a knife, right? That's how you get it to be sharp. That's how it's the most functional. So stay diligent, stay at it, grow, grow, grow. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
And we will be in touch.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Definitely, we have a lot of fun things in store. I'm very, very happy where this show is going. So thank you for being there from day 1, day 2, day 30, and even new subscribers. But we love you. Stay positive, stay safe in this new year because 2022 is going to be a hell of a ride.
Let's
Bye,
do it.
guys.